Hey everybody, how are you? When we make a big decision in our lives, something life-altering, life-changing, there's going to be two key moments where it's going to take a lot of courage. The first one is the courage to actually do it. Just to make the move, get in the car, leave, close the door, hand in your resignation, get on the plane. That is just going to take an enormous amount of courage. And that courage is actually something I find that it's rare that for big moves like this, that people just do it in the moment. It's more like something that we think about for a while, but we have to build up and accumulate, like in the bank, start accumulating, making small deposits of courage over time until one day there is enough there for us to just have the strength, the courage to actually do it. So that's the first big key moment where you're going to have courage, and it's going to require a lot, and it's going to be there when you need it. And it takes a lot of courage because what we're leaving behind is actually something that we had chosen. It's part of who we were, and we have to let go of that. In a way, ending attachments is kind of an act of violence against ourselves, because we are saying goodbye, letting go, killing off, burying a part of us that we identified as us. I know that when the decision was made between my husband and I to separate, for me, I felt that violence. It was kind of like ripping limbs out of my body. It was extremely painful, and it was this break of attachments of the identity of who I was that created so much pain and that required so much courage to actually do it. It takes courage because we're also leaving a lot of good. There had to be. If not, we wouldn't have stayed. There may have been a lot of good. And we have to say goodbye to that too. But we got to a point where the pain caused by the attachments, the codependencies, the triggers, the attachments was too much and no longer acceptable. It came to a point where the balance of scale changed. And what was more good and less pain, and then at some point we feel, this is kind of becoming equal, and then there's a day or a moment where it just tips, and that's when we know we have to make a decision, and that's where we make and why we make the decision. The second key moment that is going to... If you're enjoying some of the content of my videos, please give it a like, subscribe, write a comment. It's going to help other people find this video and join in to the conversation. The second key moment that is going to require a lot of courage is the courage not to go back, because you will be tempted. There are moments where I miss my life with my husband so much. I miss our dreams. I miss our vision. I miss how we share wonder for nature. I miss our big adventures, how I miss when he opened his arms and just enfolded me, and it felt so right. Sometimes the pain is so sharp, I can almost hear my inner child, my codependency saying, want to check that scale again? It will be painful, it will be tempting, and this is a moment where we also need a lot of courage, because we also always have to go back to the reason why we did these things. In a previous video, I talked about change back attacks, something Martha Beck talks about. And that is when you're doing inner work and you start changing because you're releasing some codependencies, and the dynamics with the people around you that are involved changes. And these people will typically have what she calls change back attacks. They will say, we don't like what's happening with you now. You're kind of upsetting the apple cart, and you're messing up with my life and my codependencies and my patterns. And I want you back just the way you were. They're going to want to change back because they want you to keep dancing the same tango, because they're not liking dancing the tango without their partner. The funny thing is these change back attacks are not only going to come from other people, they're also going to come from your own ego. It's kind of a mutiny. It's going to come from the inside. Because our ego is not going to like what we're doing either, and he's going to be throwing out his best punches too. He doesn't want us to change our codependencies because he's the king there. He doesn't like the unknown because he's not in control when that happens. He doesn't want us to evolve because he doesn't want us free. Ego feeds on pain, but not so much on growing pains. So just be prepared for those moments where the ego is going to play a lot of tricks to kind of lure you back to a place where you had a lot more control. The last few days, I've been feeling really, really tired of being strong and being brave. I've had some struggles. I just got so tired of sitting with my inner child, hearing all the emotions and all the traumas, and letting all the pain and the old beliefs about the world come up to the surface for me to see and feel and sit with. I've been tired of letting go of who I thought I was for so long. So many aspects of me that I identified as me, I'm letting go of. And it's exhausting because it comes with pain. The letting go of something you thought was you is painful. And it's just, I just really been feeling tired and saying, oh, enough already. And there's also the times where I'll be doing fine and all of a sudden, like just in the time of a breath, like suddenly there's a feeling, an emotion, a memory or something that comes up and I just burst into tears. Getting tired of that too, but I know it's the process. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't make you fall apart and that we have to accept that those moments are there. And like I said, that it's part of the process. I've been thinking I need a vacation from my inner children. I want to go on vacation and leave all my children behind and just go and have some fun. Maybe we can commiserate on this. When we do hard things, they're hard things to do. So yeah, courage. When these moments of doubts come, it is so important for us to remember why we make these decisions. I personally think it's important to write things down. We made these decisions because we felt we were stuck in our patterns, because we felt we were trapped in a life that didn't feel like us anymore. Maybe because the pain had become destructive. Now, I know I'm saying that there was too much pain and that's why we made decisions. But that's not to say, like the subject of this entire video, that there is not still pain. But the difference is that pain of sitting with our feelings, when we are working on our inner wounds, our inner child, and releasing our patterns, these are pains that are about growth and expansion and evolution. These are growing pains. These are pains that birth a new us. They're pains that birth a new world. There is a reward at the end of that pain. And that reward is us. It's like giving birth, like I just used the word giving birth, but it's the pain, it's their labor pains, more than growing pains, they're labor pains. We are birthing ourselves. And when we were in whatever situation that was causing pain, it's the difference between giving birth pain and just being in a car accident kind of pain. They're both super painful, but one, it is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it gives us the courage and the reasons why we are doing this. There is a gift, and like I said, at the end of that pain, what we get is a new us, or the real us. And the last thing I want to say, and to me it's an important one, it's okay to remember that we did this because of the things that were painful and unacceptable. But it is equally or even more important that we made the decision we made because of a calling that was telling us that if you do this, on the other side of this, there is something more. There is something better. There is a bigger you. There is more light. There is more love. There is more expansion. This is a calling that was pulling us to do something rather than the fears pushing us away from somewhere. I think that's the most important thing to remember. We make difficult decisions out of a calling. We may feel pain and use the pain to push us out, but it is really the calling that is pulling us forth. So, as in everything, let's always try to hear the calling and act because of that and not because of our fears, and still use our fears. That's it for me today. I love you. Another beautiful day in Arizona. 5.5 weeks left in this house, and then I have no idea where I'm going. So, fascinating. I don't know what to do, and I love it. Sometimes.